Hey, welcome back to Hell on the Hallway with your host, Billy. I'm so glad you're here again. Anyway, I have something interesting I want to talk to you about, and it's a concept that I've really been working a lot with clients, and I thought that I really wanted to share it with you, and I thought it would be extremely helpful. And it's really over the concept of observation over perception, and that's really important. And I have been trying to practice it myself, right? So let's kind of go through the process, right? When we observe something, we see it for what it is. At least we should, right? It should be an observation is without narrative, it's without meaning, it's without perception, right? So I have a cup in my hand, right? So that is an observation. You shouldn't draw any narratives from it at this point that I'm going to drink from the cup, or that the cup is empty, or I like the cup or I don't like the cup. That's really, none of that's the point. The straight observation is I'm holding the cup, right? So that's the observation. Perception is the meaning that I assign to the observation, right? It's the narrative, it's the storyline that we draw, right? So observation, have the cup in my hand, to perception, is she going to drink from it? Is she not going to drink from it? Is the cup empty? What's in the cup? That's the storyline that we create, that we assign. But here's the kicker. That's not all we do. We tend to have feelings, emotions that we attach not to the observation, folks. We attach emotions to the narrative, to the perception. Okay, so I've been talking to my clients a lot about that. So let me run it through a couple examples. For example, if let's say, for example, that my daughter was supposed to pick me up at 3:00, right? I'm sitting here, I'm waiting. She doesn't show, she doesn't call, and I'm like, okay. So what's the observation, folks? Right. She doesn't come, she doesn't call or text. Those are the straight facts. Like, no matter who tells the story, it should be told the same way, right? Those things are static, or the same, no matter who's telling the story. But let's say I draw a perception to it. Oh, wow, she's just not going to show up like that. Wow, that is so disrespectful. That is not cool. You know what? She doesn't even care about what I have to do. She doesn't even care about my day. You know, she didn't even think twice about me. You know, those are perceptions. Those are perceptions that I attach to the actual observation. And then I'm going to have an emotional feeling about it. I'm going to be irritated. I'm going to be angry. And the kicker is, I'm going to believe I'm angry about the observation when in fact I'm angry about the perception. Let me give you a real life example. It actually happened a couple of weeks ago. I was supposed to get my hair braided. I mean, it is braided now. Hope you like. I was supposed to get my hair braided, and I had to go through all this stuff to get my schedule together so I can go. And I bought the hair, did everything I was supposed to do, and I didn't know the young lady who was scheduled with me, who I scheduled with. And 40 minutes before I was supposed to go, she cancels. She sends me a text and she said, "I'm sorry, I can't do your hair. I'm sending your deposit back." I mean, that's it. Not like, "Hey, I had all this stuff going on. Hey, I'm really sorry. Can I reschedule?" She didn't add it. It was just those facts. So the facts, what are the facts of this story? She cancels. She sends a text saying that she's canceled, and she's returning the deposit. Those three things are truth. No matter who tells the story, that should always show up. Okay? So let me tell you what actually happened. I looked at that text message and I was like, You know what? That's what I get. That's what you get, Billy, for picking some young girl off Instagram. You don't even know this person. This is probably not even her full-time job. She got your schedule all messed up. She don't care about your schedule. She don't care about what you had to do this. And here you are wasting money on hair. She doesn't even know. She sat up there and had you waste all that money. And then I said, whoa. Slow down. Billy, what are the facts? The facts are, she canceled. She sent the text. She returned the deposit. What perceptions were you having about that event, Billy? Oh, that she didn't care about your schedule, that she was going to, she didn't care about wasting your time, that she was unprofessional, that she didn't know how to navigate business. I had all these perceptions, all these narratives that I had drew about that particular observation. And then, you know what feeling I had from those narratives? I felt disrespected. I felt disrespected. But when I went back through the storyline and I recognized that, hey, that young lady doesn't know me. She doesn't know me at all. She did cancel by text. That might be normal for her. And on my end, it looked dry and it didn't, like she didn't really care. But it is a text message. So you do lose a lot of content. You lose a lot of context with text messaging, right? What else? She doesn't even know what you do for a living. She has no idea what you had to do to navigate this, to get this done. She doesn't know about any of that, right? So once I was able to go back and shift and revisit the observation, I felt disappointed. Disappointed feels very different than feeling disrespected. So I'm going to encourage you guys, always seek out and look at what the observation is, right? Because when we don't practice observation over perception, we find ourselves having emotional attachments to things that are not even real. They're not real yet because we haven't clarified them. We have to take the time to clarify what our storyline is so we can have the proper emotion attached to that particular storyline. See, feeling disrespected is very different than feeling disappointed. When I was disappointed, I was able to let go of the circumstance a lot faster. When I felt disrespected, I wanted to tell that story all day. Let me find a reason to tell that story. You come asking me what I want in my coffee, I'm gonna find a way to tell you how this lady canceled this appointment. Because I was having some real feelings, right? Well, my feelings wasn't over real things. The feelings were over a narrative that I drew up, and we do that all the time. I'm going to encourage you, constantly do that, because if constantly listen to, are you responding to a narrative or that you're drumming up, that you're creating, or are you responding to the actual facts, right? So here's the thing. The other thing too, if we don't pay attention to if we're responding to our perception of an event versus the observation of the event, we have what's called a myopic experience. And myopic is nearsightedness. I'm nearsighted, right? I see things that are near. I don't see things that are far. And an example of that in terms of mental health, let's say I have this candle lit, right? I have this candle. And if I'm having a myopic experience, I'm having tunnel vision, let's not set my hair on fire. Tunnel vision, like I got my hands covering my eyes, I'm on the side of my eyes, and all I see is this flame. Right? So because I'm having tunnel vision, the flame looks larger than what it is, right? In my mind, I can say, oh my God, this whole thing is burning down, right? Because that's a myopic experience. I've taken something small and I've amplified it, But if I was to pan back out, I can say, oh, that's just a candle. Oh, the house is not on fire. It's just a candle. And when I recognize that, I can have the appropriate emotional response attached to that particular experience. Because when we will find ourselves looking for evidence of our perceptions all the time in people, right? We do it all the time. Oh yeah, the only reason why she said this is because, the only reason why he did that is because, and we don't even really know. But we live in that space as if we don't. And what we really need to do is take time to slow our circumstances down, slow the situation down, and say, what is actually happening? What are the observations? Go through your mind when you have things happening and say, what actually happened? Go through the facts. Don't add the story. Go through the facts. And then assess what your feelings are about those facts. And then if you really want to look at a narrative, clarify it. Talk to the person you're drawing a narrative from so you can be clear. The other thing that's interesting about observation over perception, when I find that people have the same type of perceptions over and over again, there's a story there. There's something that needs to be excavated, needs to be worked through, needs to be worked on, because you're having the same type of myopic experience. You're having the same type of perception that you're running all your observations through. So your storylines are the same. So if anything today, I hope you consider looking at things from the observation versus the perception. Then investigate what emotion are you having to that particular perception you're drawing up, and is that accurate? You know, when you find yourself doing this a lot of the times, it's really not a liberating experience. It's really can put you in some form of emotional and psychological bondage. I hope you take time at some point. Again, use your support system to help you work through some of this stuff, right? I would always advocate for counseling, as that's what I do for a living. But healthy supports, if it's healthy family, healthy friends, your spiritual, whatever it happens to be for you. But recognize that when you consistently live in your perceptions, you are consistently living in a world that doesn't actually exist for real. Again, thank you so much for joining me on Hell in the Hallway today. I look forward to seeing you next time, and take care of yourselves. Love you guys.